Hello, YouTube. It is Monday, April 4th, 2023, 9:04 p.m. It's always fun to watch Phoenix drivers parallel park because most of them don't know how to do it for shit. Oh, yeah, that guy's struggling with it. This reminds me of the time that my daughter plowed into my neighbor's car trying to parallel park up the street. At least I don't think that Suburban's getting ready to hit anybody, so that's worth something. So, I overslept work big time today. And no, I don't have my car back. So, unlike when I normally oversleep for work, which, in general, when it happens, it sucks. But normally when I oversleep for work, I just kind of get myself ready as quick as I'm, able to get myself up and get myself ready. Some days I'm a little more groggy than others when I oversleep. But once I hop in the car, it's about an 18-minute drive to work. I have no idea how long it's going to take me to get to work right now. I've still got a Lime, what the hell you call it, a Lime ride pass that's active. Wanted to use it this morning. Oh man, I could have got home from work so much faster this morning. I was super depressed at work last night and just not really on my game, and to the point, Kimberly was pretty much worried about me all night. She's like, "Are you okay? Are you okay?" I'm like, "Well, I'm not okay, but I'm trying my best to stick it out." So when I asked her about 45 minutes before into shift if it was cool if I bounced early, she was like, "Yes, by all means, go ahead." And I ended up getting it home at the regular 7 a.m. public transit time. Left one bus early on the Rapid. So the first bus out on the Rapid, as opposed to the second bus out on the Rapid. Although that bus was damn near 15 minutes late, so it ended up not giving me a whole lot of advantage over leaving on the one I normally leave on. In fact, yeah, for getting out of work about a half hour early. In fact, yeah, I think I clocked out 31 minutes early. It didn't get me home any earlier. I ended up just spending quite a lot of time on the at the bus stop at the 79th Avenue Transit Center, waiting for the Rapid bus that showed up late, and then spent way more time than I ever want to spend sitting at the 44th Street in Washington bus waiting for the northbound 44. That was awful. That bus stop just straight up smells like a cross between piss and burning fentanyl. Speaking of burning fentanyl, right there where that shopping cart is and that wheelchair ramp is, amazingly they cleared everybody out of there. But God, this morning I couldn't even say, I walked down that sidewalk and literally walked through them, and I couldn't say how many homeless people were just kicking it there, camped out, a bunch of blankets, a bunch of piles of trash and shopping carts. But they were all just up and cheery in the morning and loading up their foil and sharing their blues and sparking the fentanyl up. I had to walk through a big fucking cloud of fentanyl. And I'm just shaking my head like, wow, they're just right here, right out in the open. I think back to when I was a pothead in the 90s, and I loved smoking my pot in the 90s, but I would never think to do it out in the open like that. Like if I was going to smoke pot in this area in the 90s, I would be trying to get myself in an obscured area behind a building or deep in the park, like in a spot where I'm just not particularly visible. I wouldn't dream of doing it just right there on the sidewalk. Back in the 90s, I would just be asking for getting pulled over and getting a felony possession charge. And I mean, back in the 1990s in Arizona, they sent people to prison just for possession of a roach. I mean, it happened. They'd arrest you for shit. I had one time I got actually arrested in front of my mother's place, driving her car. Of course, my stone ass got pulled over because I didn't turn my headlights on. But anyway, but yeah, I got arrested, and literally all I had was the roach of the joint I just smoked with my sister. That's it. That's all I had. And they and I think I had it in a roach clip. So I got arrested with felony possession charges and felony paraphernalia charges. That's just how Arizona was with that stuff back in the 1990s. But now just drug use is just straight up tolerated right out in the open and everything. I couldn't believe it as I walked through. And mind you, that was the third group of people that I had to deal with on the walk home this morning. Doing fentanyl just blatantly out in the open in front of me. Although it was always one or two people up until that point. At that point, I couldn't even say how large the group was doing it. It was a pretty sizable group. And and my phone was dead. That's the whole reason I was walking at this point. Because otherwise, when I got to 44th Street, I would have just grabbed one of these here Lime scooters. First I would have checked the bus app to see how long till the Route 44 was going to show up. Wow, look at these, all lined up nice and neat with fully charged batteries. I would have. I saw. It seems to be the sort of thing, right? At the bus stop, they had 3 on one side and 2 on the other side. Scooters just recently deployed, lined up nice and neat. And I would have happily grabbed one of those after checking the bus app to see how long it would be on the Route 44. But my phone was dead, and I ended up just being there for God knows how many minutes, because, of course, my phone dead. I have no way of knowing what time it is either. But, and the area just absolutely, that bus stop just absolutely reeked of piss. And while I was there, I had one group of 2 people, and then 2 other people decide to, at the benches right next to it, just spark up their fentanyl. One guy was walking around in the area holding his foil and just smoking it, made like a foil pipe kind of thing, and was just smoking it, walking around in front of the bus stop. It's just inescapable. And you know, it's easy I guess to not notice it if you drive. Because if you drive, your only experience walking in Phoenix is going from your parking space to your job or to the store, or you spend your time in your car in this city. You don't do a lot of walking, and it's in the places where you'd be walking where you're going to see that. I mean, occasionally there's people smoking in front of certain convenience stores, so I guess you might see it there. But the convenience stores do try to run people off, particularly QT. I mean, this QT now has an armed security guard who looks like a freaking cop. He wears a bulletproof vest and a badge, and probably has a gun on him as well. But that doesn't stop people from doing it on the perimeter of the property. I mean, that happens all the time, especially on the northeast corner of the property by the electrical. Oh, son of a bitch. I could have got on that 44 if I was paying attention. That's all right. I got plenty of minutes on my line pass. On that note, I need to get my ass going. I need to get my ass to work. I'm going to try doing the Lime to the light rail to Route 3. I'll see what time I get to work. It's definitely going to be part 2 of this, so thanks for coming with on the walk.